Over at Marvel Comics, there's been some excellent growth for Wanda Maximoff despite her kind of shady past and origins over at the publisher. Wanda recently, over in the Trial of Magneto miniseries, was able to resolve some of her long standing issues with the X Men and even earned a new title known as the Redeemer. But now Marvel Comics is looking to take Wanda in a different direction with a brand new Scarlet Witch series where she becomes the owner of a magical shop known as the Emporium. My name is Ariko Braddock, and today, let's go ahead and take a look into Scarlet Witch's brand new series. But before we get deeper into the video, I want to go ahead and encourage you to consider subscribing to the channel if you enjoy our content, and why not go ahead and hit that like button if you like this video. In addition, I want to share some context behind this brand new Scarlet Witch series by reading off Marvel's solicitation text describing this brand new comic book series. The Scarlet Witch returns. There is a door that appears only to those who need it most, who have no one else to turn to. On the other side of this door is the witchcraft shop. Friend or foe, human or otherwise, if your need is great and your hope is gone, there you will meet the Scarlet Witch. Wanda Maximoff is familiar with hitting rock bottom, and now that she's finally found peace, she's pledged all her powers to help others who are languishing at their lowest. But when a woman falls through Wanda's door with the terrifying story of a town gone mad, the Scarlet Witch will have to muster her wits and chaos magic to deal with an insidious threat. Comic book powerhouses SteveOrlando and Sara Pichelli joined forces to open a groundbreaking new chapter in the Scarlet Witch's history. And now I want to share the creative team behind this brand new issue. This issue is written by SteveOrlando. We have art from Sara Pichelli. We have some ink assists from Elisabetta D'Amico, colors from Matthew Wilson, letters from Cory Petit, and a gorgeous cover from Russell Dauterman that I'm actually going to go ahead and show off right now. It's just a beautiful cover, kind of showcasing just some of the great magic elements over from the Scarlet Witch. And I want to give just a quick big thanks over to Adventures in Poor Taste for posting this preview of the Scarlet Witch #1 so incredibly quickly over from Marvel Comics. Now, I want to start off the review by talking a little bit about Sara Pichelli's gorgeous art throughout the issue. Sara Pichelli is just so great at drawing facial expressions and really drawing kind of angular lines that allow you to become really easily immersed in the story itself. There's always kind of a great sense of storytelling between panel to panel because there's always kind of something interesting going on in the background. Over in this page, we can kind of see the light trail kind of lingering from Scarlet Witch's hair that just helps give the book a sort of like mystical energy that really kind of falls in a good place with where the series is trying to go. It really does feel like author SteveOrlando was working very closely here with artist Sara Pichelli. I love this page where Wanda is kind of changing into her outfit using the powers of magic. It's yet another kind of change and twist in the kind of art effects that allow for a really kind of mystical edge or bend to the story. And also, I want to take a moment to spotlight color artist Matthew Wilson in particular, because I believe the color palette is also in a large way kind of responsible for that beautiful kind of hue of red changing the wardrobe in the artwork. And there's quite a few kind of interesting guest stars throughout this issue that I think Sara Pichelli draws really nicely here. Quicksilver's facial expressions look great in particular. If there's maybe one thing I could point out to kind of critique Sara Pichelli's art, I do think that there are some characters who look a little bit younger than they should, particularly Quicksilver, who's had such a big kind of history with the Marvel Universe. And sometimes I think his age is portrayed a little bit more flexible. Also, we get the introduction of Darcy over from the Marvel Cinematic Universe in this story. So it's interesting to have her. She's helping Wanda out with her Emporium shop throughout the issue. And we get introduced to kind of so many new status quos in Wanda's life throughout this story, because we also learn of the last door, which is a kind of magical twist where somebody in need will kind of magically appear. And it's great to see kind of this book take on a sort of like fantasy kind of noir direction, with the Emporium kind of serving as the base for where the Scarlet Witch is going to go next. And when Wanda ends up meeting kind of the first person from the last door, it's a character known as Jarnette Chase, who actually hails from Italy. And Jarnette brings a sort of, global aspect to the series, but also lends more of that sort of dark magic twist, as the issue she faces is kind of influenced by a mystical villain lingering over in the background of the series. So I loved kind of unraveling all of the sort of like mystical nuances behind the story. I loved watching kind of Sara Pichelli, render this town in Italy as well. It was so beautiful to see kind of how like the streets were laid out, and just how beautiful kind of the settings and location looked as a whole. Cliffhanger of the issue actually does a pretty solid job remedying some of the problems, because it helps bring back Wanda's kind of sordid past, which will help expand kind of the depth of the series. Because the deeper we get into Wanda's origins, the more interesting guest stars and kind of aspects of her continuity will come out. I think it's worth saying here that part of the reason why the Marvel Universe is so interesting right now is because of the vast history that the characters have. So, as we get deeper into the book, I really hope that writer SteveOrlando will continue having this really kind of personal focus over on the Scarlet Witch, and will continue to kind of introduce more characters. I really enjoyed kind of the throwaway fight scene towards the beginning of the issue, just because I thought it was a little bit different than the fight scenes we usually get over in Marvel Comics. Instead of having a kind of familiar villain, we're treated to the character of Dr. Hydro. And it's very funny to kind of read like what some of his plans are as a villain, and what some of his issues are with Wanda in particular. And also, I'm hoping that kind of this last page will really help expand kind of the scope of the series deeper into Wanda's past in the issue. I think that this particular installment did a good job kind of setting up the series. I kind of thought that the issue would be a done in one, and for the most part it is. Is Wanda resolves kind of the main conflict of the issue within this first chapter, but also we get a little bit of a tease at what could be next for the Scarlet Witch. So those are my thoughts over on Scarlet Witch #1. I think this is an incredibly solid new chapter for Wanda. I really appreciate the brand new lore that they're fleshing out for Wanda, utilizing the setting of the Emporium. And I think Marvel's doing a good job introducing some new guest stars and a little bit more of Wanda's backstory in the last page of this first issue. But I want to know from you, what did you think of Marvel's Scarlet Witch #1? Did you think that this was a good start for Wanda's new chapter? And also, are you kind of intrigued by that tease of what we're getting in the near future of the series? Well, thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'll be back really soon with more excellent comic book content. Thanks so much, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.